Sorry.
There
we go.
I
Okay.
started my business 14 years ago in the South Hills when I was in grad school. I had another career. So I was a private investigator for 6 years. That's what my master was in. Um, Once I had my son, I went back into real estate full time, went to a different company. And thanks to Krista being tenacious and coming after me, and then John calling me from Krista's phone, I came back in 2024. Um, so that's kind of the start of it being at CB again.
Yeah. And you grew up where? In
Near Uniontown, Fayette County.
yeah.
This stays here.
She doesn't like to share that. Family?
I do. I have a million kids. So I do. I've been married for 15 years. I have four children. My son and three little divas, including a 3-year-old. God's sense of humor, we call her.
Yeah. Fun. Yeah, it keeps us busy, right?
Yes.
I know that all too well right now. But anyways, um so you said quickly what you did before you got into real estate and
Mhm.
but private investigating, what made you choose real estate?
So I actually worked with Maria and Joe Lane when I was looking for our home and I was in grad school. And the hunt kind of went with that career field. I say I hunt houses instead of people now. Went and interviewed with them. My goal was to go federal when I was in that career field, and staying here because of my husband's job led us to changing a path because I don't sit still very well. So I got my real estate license and then quickly got my investigation job within a month later. So that I thought I could be a part-time agent. As I'm filming in a car and talking to a lender, I realized quickly this is not working. So once I got pregnant with my son, that kind of deviated to real estate full time, and that's when I really saw a change with business.
Yeah. It's something I meant to bring up earlier. With Breanne. She was, if you guys were at the New Year's celebration, she was one of our most improved agents. So
Mhm.
when she came over to Coldwell Banker, you were doing 4.5, 5 million you did that year in 2024.
Yeah, so I can tell you a little, I guess, with that. I always had what I called my blessed business. And I do have a very strong faith. God is the center of my life. And I just thought, oh, God will keep blessing. It'll just keep trickling in. And the other company I was with, I realized I just kept hitting that 4 to 5. And I didn't understand why. I knew where my business could be. I am confident when I get my clients. I think a lot of us are. We think we're the best at what we do, or we wouldn't be in sales. But my problem was, why am I not getting more clients? So John Perry had called me just right at the right time. And I said, I'm just not hitting that next level. And I know I should be. And every person I talk to is like, you can get there, you can get there. So John, if you know very well, he is probably one of the best sales guys I've met.
Yep.
And I also think that I'm pretty good. And I'm like, wait, this guy has one on me. And I was going to come over. I had an assistant who decided she was going to stay with my other company. And so I stepped back, and I'm very loyal and I wouldn't leave her. 3 months later, the other company had said, we're going to do this, this, and this. It fell through. And I said, no, I know where I should be. And John had called right after a coaching session with my previous broker. And if anybody, when you hear the words coaching, I don't care how long you've been in the business, um, coach, it can be Chat GTP coaching you. Like, learn, learn, learn. That's the biggest thing. And it can be a brand new agent. I have learned so much from, I will give credit to Emma. A lot of people know her as my assistant. She really runs the house. Just the ideas you bounce back and forth. So when I came over with John, I just said, okay, then I need you to get me to 10. That's my goal. And you tell me to do it and I'll listen to you. But the biggest thing was for me, everyone wanted to keep changing my brand and getting me there the way everybody else does. And if you know me, I am extra. I love my heels, my
No
shoes,
way.
just a little bit. But my biggest thing is my family. I'm the working mama. I have 4 kids. That's the center of my life. I have shown houses. I've had throw up on me and everything else because it's just what happens. And it's not always my kids, it's other people's kids. But John's biggest thing in the faith with me was he would build my brand my way and he would help me get there. So that is what I think the confidence level of coming here, and the system of CB is so different from when I started back in the day. I want to know I can send my clients 9 to 5 to an office and there's somebody at the front desk. I want to know that there is some camaraderie. I do think that's important. I cannot work at home. My kids are 13 to 3 years old, and that 3-year-old knows where mom's at home. So having an office space, somewhere to go, and being diligent in that, I'm a little bit of an old soul, so that was a big difference for me, showing up. And that's what's changed my business. Showing up, and I say do one thing every day. Every day.
Love
I
that.
can keep talking. I know
Yeah,
you
no,
have
no,
questions, but
nuh but, so when Breanne came over, this is one of my favorite stories, maybe has me involved
uh
in part of it, but, she came in, she was here for maybe a month, and she goes like, "I need my assistant to come with me, like, I need an assistant." And I was helping out at Fox Chapel at the time. I sat down with Emma over here, and she was a brand new agent there, and started talking to her and getting to know her and stuff. And she talks about what she does, being what's your technically like
system
a virtual
consultant.
systems. Yeah, but like I'm pretty good at tech and stuff like that, and she was blowing me away with what she knew, and I was like, this girl's just on a different level. I was like, I would love to have her as an assistant. The very next day, she asked me, "Hey, do you know anyone that could be like a good assistant?" I was like, "I just met this girl like yesterday. I think she'd be perfect." And they got together, and now you're full time with her now, which is
Mhm.
awesome. And so she came on, helped you put systems in place that you needed to put in, and tell 'em how you finished off last year.
Yeah, so my goals last year, I'm just self-driven. I am humbled that people call in like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And I do coach realtors down in Texas. I have family down there, so if you're on my social media, I'm down there a lot. But conversations are everything for me. I learn something every time I'm coaching the young ladies down there. But even conversations in here with other agents that are just like, "What are you doing?" And it's me. So I am on social media. I say obnoxiously. I truly believe that it's it's put out there wrong that it has to be all business on social media. You do have to be careful. I mean, the way I got kind of into a situation recently was from socials. But I do think that if you're authentic and you keep it positive, it can change your business for me. But I've also learned again from some of the agents who aren't comfortable in front of a camera, there's other things that work too if you're consistent on following up. So social media is great if you're posting, but are you interacting and are you still making those phone calls and know those people? So I know everyone, especially the younger agents, I still think I'm 28. I'm not. Uh, but they're like Instagram, Instagram. Facebook is my bread and butter. I don't think it has to be one niche, but I'm 75, probably 85% personal on social media from today. For instance, if you get on my socials, my daughter challenged me with wearing red tights. And so I turned that into social media posts. I'm like, fine, little diva, I got you. And then she loved it. I'm like, yes, win from my 10-year-old. Um, but it's people getting to know you. And I think mailers are something that I've tried to take on a little bit from my sphere. I am all referral, so my sphere is important. But are you making your postcards? Are you making your mailers personal? Or is it just, let me give you your home? Or, do you want to sell your home? I have a buyer in your home. Honestly, like, I have taken advantage now of AI. I'm not into it as well as, like, Emma or Dana, but just little bits of making it brand to me.
Yeah, all that. So right now in your business, like, what do you think helped you scale the most? So last year you went from that like under 5 million up to almost 16 million in a year. What do you maybe one or two, what were the biggest factors that made you
Sure.
have that growth?
So I do think I deviated from your last question. I'm sorry. Yeah, last year was 10, was my goal. I hit that in August, and I'm just goal oriented. So I pushed that to 16. Everyone's like, "You did great." I'm like, "I didn't hit 16." So I'm humbled by last year, but I'm still mad. Like it's new goal this year. So I think it's consistency. I think John holding me accountable. It was 2 weeks after I signed papers to come here, and he said, "Okay, you said you wanted to coach. Where are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, he's really going to do this." So I don't think it's just accountability with your broker, your manager, a friend in the office. Like Dana's doing it with just a health friend that's an agent, you and Matt. Emma and I hold each other accountable. I had another agent this week ask me or last week to sit down, and I said, "Okay, we're not doing a coaching session, but now this is what you're asking me. I'm telling you, and I'm going to check in and make sure you did it." Um, it's that accountability. So I think being consistent is everything. Trust me, I am not with my hair and makeup every time I'm on socials, and it's stuff about like ice fishing yesterday through North Park. But that consistency and showing up, I'm telling you, do one thing every day. And then the follow up. Last year, I made it intentional to talk to just two of my sphere. And when I say sphere, I mean past, present clients and people that I know if my name is mentioned, that they would say my name back and asking for business. I started the last quarter of last year. Wow. Like we help each other out. We post businesses. I'm at this coffee shop. What would it hurt when the barista knows you by name to say, "Hey, if you know anybody ever here and talking about buying or selling a house, or if you personally know somebody, tell them give me a call, and making those relationships matter. I turned my business into a business last year. It wasn't just the blessed business. It was being consistent, showing up, asking for business back. I now talk to my clients 3 times throughout the process if they know somebody buying or selling. So when I meet them, first interview, listen, you're going to love me or hate me, but I know you're going to love me. We're going to get through this process. It's going to be tough. It's going to be intense. We're going to have a good time. So if you know somebody else and you want to walk through the process with them or with you, tell them about me and I'll sit down with them and do our first date like I'm doing with you. Point one, I'm asking for that business. When we get under contract, hey guys, this is super exciting. Tell everybody that you're doing that and you're working with me. And then at closing, you have to coach people to promote you. Everybody just thinks you have this great, grand business. And I will say on that, everyone's like, what are you doing right now? I'm like panicking. I am panicking. Emma laughing at me right now.
And I was hoping you said that because we had a
We had a
coaching
coaching,
earlier this
yeah,
Monday, I think it was, and she was like, I think it's important for agents to see this. Like, the top agents aren't just be like, it's just like butterflies and rainbows.
no.
Like, there is that panic in them too. Like, of like, where's my next piece of business going to come from?
And I think like I set goals again. I set units and I set volume. I do both, and I set like a soft goal and a hard goal. The hard goal is like I will hit this year, heck or high water, I'll hit it. And then my soft goal is like, but if I hit that, I got to push a little harder. So I'm not hitting my units yet for this year, and I'm trying to stay thankful in that because we know how hard this business can be, and you got to celebrate those wins. But I will say, yeah, I'm in panic. I'm like doubling down. What am I doing? What am I not doing? And what can I do to change that? Like, I'm ready to open a hat bar. Like, we're making custom hats. And my husband's like, no, you're not. I'm like, well, okay, then I'll sell houses. So I think just being realistic, like, yeah, you keep hustling. Once it's under contract, you need the next one. Then where's the next one? So I don't realm in the present. I'm pretty bad at that, but you just got to keep going.
So I know you track this because we talked about it. Where did most of your business come from last year?
All sphere. Sphere, and I include in that social media. So again, I'm on Facebook. It's localized. I do have some beyond that, but I'm all sphere, so all referral based. Um, and I do. I have a lot of pride in that. I think it's a lot easier as I'm now getting into a little more like competitive listings and random phone calls. I hate them. I hate the pressure of like you're going against this person or this person, and I'm still humble. When you say you're putting me up against this other agent, I'm like, "Oh, I know who she is." Like, don't do that. And it doesn't matter the numbers, the experience, the personality. Um, and so I love that one step in a factor that, oh, so and so gave me your number. You already have that trust. And I think we don't tap into as many people as we do know. I know with Emma, like I'm telling her, she was in a different career field. Drive by somewhere and be like, oh my goodness, I'm going to call this person, shoot them a text. And I would say, when you haven't talked to somebody 5 or 6 years, but you're still trying to get those touch points out there, think about it. Like, Emma's actually like in her age bracket that I want to be. So she's not been out of college as long as I have. And I said, like, you haven't talked to these people, but say, oh my goodness, remember when we went out after class that day? I just drove by the bar. It made me giggle. It's building a relationship, not selling the house. So starting with just those touch points, if you're a little more mature and it's somebody that maybe your kid went to school with and you haven't seen them in a few years and they just pop in your head, do yourself a favor and shoot them a text on something that's relatable, and then they get added to your sphere, and then you get their address and their phone. And now you have that checklist just a couple times a year, touching base and mentioning, if you're late to a soccer game and you're dressed to a T, sorry, I was showing a house friends, or oh my goodness, they showed this house with this really cool fireplace. You don't have to just say, I was out with buyers. I'm a realtor. I'm a realtor. Nobody cares. Like, make it interesting. What about being a realtor? What about that listing appointment? What about that house? Same thing on social media. You don't have to say, I had a showing today. It's taking like some kind of cool, picture walking up and saying, not the right shoes to wear today to this showing, or, oh my goodness, the coffee shop down at this listing appointment is going to be my new go-to. Just being real with what people want to know.
Having fun. Yeah.
Having
And
fun,
ask questions. Ask questions is huge for engagement on social media.
but be prepared for answers.
Yes. Yes. You're going to ask questions. Make sure you respond to it.
Keep it
Um,
positive too.
so, like, two more questions. What is something in the last year that was the hardest thing for you in your business to overcome?
Hmm. Oh, did I miss that question you sent me ahead of time? What was the hardest thing to overcome? Um, I would say to be honest with you, it's knowing that I could do what I was doing. Uh, it sounds kind of backwards, I guess, but I did have a really great year last year and I'm humbled by it. And I think trusting that it wasn't by fluke, knowing that the systems are working and keep doing them and just knowing that it was coming back. So that was hard for me to like, okay, this is working. I'm going to keep going and celebrating the wins. We had 1 month where we were so close to a next high volume, and I said to Emma, I was like, "Oh, if we sell 300,000 more, we're gonna." She's like, "I will kill you. You put one more on this," and I'm like, "Oh, but we're so close." Like, but just like celebrating the wins, we work hard on all these contracts. I have an investor of 40,000 up to $2 million deals. Celebrate those little wins; they all matter. So I think just being present in it sometimes and saying, "Okay, I'm doing okay."
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's really important. I think fear holds a lot of us
Hmm.
back. I mean, I know like of, oh, I should reach out to this person. Oh, what are they going to think of if I say something stupid or things
Right.
like that? Fear holds us back from like really
Hmm.
achieving our true potential. Then oftentimes you have that imposter syndrome. Like, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be that good. Like, we all feel that way. It's just
Hmm.
if you can come that and get to that next level, like you're going to grow as a person. You're going to grow your business. It's going to be more fun.
And I would add to that too, don't compare yourself to I pot calling the kettle black, but don't compare yourself to the other. If you can set your personal goals and focus on that, I am still humbled by agents who maybe I had more volume last year, but when I see their name come up, I'm like, oh, she talked to me. It's just because I mean, we all have a different type of business. We're all in the different phases of our business. So, and yes, Lynn Miller, I'm looking at you because I am still humbled that you're in the office with me. We did a deal years ago, and to me, Lynn and Jackie, and it's just like they're great. We worked well together, and it's humbling to feel like you can work alongside people like you. So I think don't compare necessarily business, just be people and learn from each other.
Yeah, love that. All right, last question.